everybody, today is the 14th of May. Here is Dr. Елейн Сарао, and I'm gonna ask her some questions about the today's lecture and about our university. So, good morning.
Good morning.
So, you told that we have to be proud of our university, and you are as American. Can you tell me what are the common things of our university and ones which are in America?
Well, one of the most common things is the diversification of your students. In the United States, universities are very proud of diversity. And that in any university, the diversity is important. It brings many voices together. And it's out of those many voices that you get the strength of a university along with its academic deliveries. And this is one of the things that's very, very unique to WIUU. It is a strong university. It's been built on dealing with business and economics and economic development and the growth of Ukraine, but also it draws on having international students and an international view. And I think this is a major strength that WIUU has over other universities that I'm aware of.
Okay, so, and you was talking about the politics of the United States a lot. And if you're talking about Ukraine, do you know like something about our politics, about our system, and comparing to the United States? Is it possible to make something the same as American did with communities and something? And
I think actually, at the very basic level, things are very much the same. The fact is people in every society around the world, United States, Ukraine, it doesn't matter. People are concerned with what's happening in their lives, first of all, in their community, second, and then in their region and their nation. And it's only how people have experienced those issues, in other words, how they have applied it, how they've lived it, that is slightly different. In the United States, the history of the U.S. Since the U.S. Revolution has been one of communities. It's been driven by the communities. And so much so that even today in the United States, noting the name, the United States, states and individuals in those states are very focused on their communities, on their state. And the whole dynamics of what goes on in the United States is driven by the voices across the United States of the individual states. Similar to Ukraine, I lived here from 2002 to 2005, and those 3 years I became aware of the basics that were similar, the basics of individuals in their community, what they want to see for themselves first, what they want to see then for their families, what they want to see for their families within their communities, and then so on through the oblasts and what happens nationwide. And we were here during the Orange Revolution. We saw the first flowering of that. And it takes time. It's hard for people to realize how long it takes. The U.S. is still evolving. It's like many steps forward, a couple of steps back. Over 200 years. Ukraine is at the beginning, at the very beginning in many ways. It's an ancient nation. And yet, its democracy is at its most infant stage. And it needs nurturing by the Ukrainian people.
Okay, so and the last question, it was commonly known that the USSR, the Soviet Union, was like, and Americans were 30 or 40 years ahead than the USSR? And is it possible to say about the current situation in post-Soviet countries that Americans are 30 years ahead than we?
I think the issues of being ahead or being behind is less of an importance as looking at our immediate times. One of the points I made and had conversation with some of the students after this recent presentation was about social media. Everything now is happening so much faster. It's happening so fast that societies can't even respond as quickly as the information is coming out. Individuals can't even respond to the information that's being presented. It's becoming more and more difficult to know what information is accurate and what information is inaccurate. What information is intentionally presented clearly and what information is intentionally distorted or manipulated to push another end. And these differences are happening so quickly that human beings, and this is true for everyone everywhere, US, Ukraine, Russia, it doesn't really matter. Human beings take time to have to absorb and think things through. When things happen very quickly, it becomes very difficult to take the time necessary to think things through and necessarily to put them into context as to what's happened before and how that affects what's going to happen in the future because of what's taking place now.
So, thanks a lot for your interview, for your 2-day lecture, and thanks to you viewers, and watch our videos more.